Hello, I just thought I'd give you an update on chilies and growing chilies. This is our second clip. It's now the end of July, so what should you be doing now? Well, the simple answer is not an awful lot. As I said before, chilies are pretty easy. Compost wise, we've done no feeding and will do no feeding. Tying in, we will tie these in as they need, and I've been through a couple of times, but they're very strong plants, so one or two ties is really all you need. Obviously when some of the fruits get bigger we might put some extra supports in, but that will be it. They're flowering well, pollinating and producing fruits. Some people worry about some of the leaves and how they curl, etc. That's nothing to worry about. It can be temperature or moisture, and you'll find that even through the day they go up and down. Varieties like Numex pinnata, this is it here, which is a jalapeno type, it has this really weird chlorosis happen. First time I grew this I thought, well, why are these doing this? It's the habit of the variety, so don't think that all chilies have the same leaf type and will exhibit the same things. Some varieties do odd things like that, and that's quite normal. So if you've got lots of plants in the same compost and some are doing different things, you tend to find that's what they're meant to be doing. It's not a case that you're doing something wrong. So as I say, no feeding's gone on, a little bit of tying in. We're just starting to space them out a little bit further. Eating wise, we've started on the hot wax. We've been eating those for about 2-3 weeks now. They're still their sort of yellowy colour, but they've got an excellent flavour, not too spicy. It's one of my favourite chilies for all sorts of things. The tiny little chiltepins, which really is one of my favourites, these are just blacking up now. And they have got a lovely flavour, really hot, really spicy, but it goes off so quickly. So it's one of those ones that you can literally just eat and a minute or two later it's gone. They're lovely. Other than that, what else are we doing? Hello, so here we are for our second instalment on how to grow chilies and what you should be doing. It's the end of July now, and as you can see since our last clip, the crop has come on very well. Some of them are now actually up to heat and starting to taste pretty good. I've just had one of these chiltepins here, which is one of my favourites, and it was one of those surprise ones which was a damn sight hotter than they usually are. But chiltepins are good because they actually go off very quickly. So a couple of seconds ago or a couple of minutes ago it was pretty hot and sweaty, but that's gone now. The Hungarian hot wax as well, they're colouring up nicely, and we're eating those as well. Hot wax is one of my favourite varieties. It's not too hot and spicy. It's just a good all-round chili for stuffing, and it's reasonable heat, eating raw, grilling, all sorts of things like that. But it's got a lovely flavour. So anyway, what should we actually be doing with chilies and peppers at the moment? Well, the simple answer is not an awful lot. They're a lot easier than tomatoes, as I've said before. We haven't done any feeding, which as I said before we wouldn't. So they've been in these 12-litre containers since May, whenever it was. We've kept them watered. We're watering them roughly once a day now. It's quite warm. We water them still after lunch. Try to let them dry out to an extent before watering again, so they don't all get a drink every day. Because if you can keep the dryness up a little bit, you'll tend to find that the fruits will have more heat, which is obviously what we want. As I say, no feeding. All we are really doing is making sure they've got space, so we're going to start spacing that way. Tying in where necessary, but once again with chilies, they're actually quite strong plants, so something like this is only tied in once at the bottom, and even some of the bigger ones have only been tied in once at the bottom. When the fruits start getting bigger and bigger and developing, we may have to do a little bit more tying in just to support them and the weight. But most of the time, not really, nothing to worry about. One thing that is worth mentioning at this time, because when all the chilies are potted up, they look roughly the same, but now you start to see leaf colour variation, and you start to see some of the leaves crinkling a little bit and things like that. If all your chilies are in the same compost, you can assume that the problem is not your compost, but it's more that different chilies look different as they grow on. The classic one to show you is this variety Pinnata, which is an annum type, comes from New Mexico State University, and it looks like it's got chlorosis. The leaves look really poor and really grotty actually. It does this every year. The first year I grew it, I was really worried, and I thought, well, why is it doing that? Is it viral, whatever? But it does it every year. And actually, when the fruits colour up in the autumn, because it goes nice green, orange, reds and everything, with the yellowy foliage, it actually really looks nice in the end. But so some people may worry that that leaf doesn't look too good, or they're curling up. That can be temperature, it can be too much water or too little. But the leaves will change through the day as well. So really, you know, just don't worry. Let them get on with it. Let the fruits develop. Let the fruits develop and actually colour up on the plants themselves. You'll find they have more flavour and more heat. We've got ages to the autumn until we need to be clearing the crop because of frost or because of mildew and what have you. So really, yeah, this time of the year, just let them get on with themselves. Keep them watered but not overwatered, tied in, plenty of space, plenty of air. That's it. Chilies, they're really easy.